Good morning. Today's the 8th of January, 2023. 8th day of the year, surprisingly. Anyway, so we're down here again this morning. Our headwater is on the pond level. That's the headwater. 1699.98. So it's dropped down a little bit. What we should expect. Tail race is 1646.95 right now. We're putting out 694 kilowatts combined, so we're doing really well with that. I don't think there's anything that we need to do. We're in the pond normal level. Both units are running at capacity. They might be a little sluggish, a little clogged, but it's not worth the 20 or 30 kilowatts we're going to gain to clean them. Plus, it's 13 degrees outside. So I'm not going to go play in the water when it's 13 degrees. If it warms up a little bit more this afternoon, maybe I'll hit it this afternoon, but I don't know if it's going to. I did my timesheet for the week and got most of that completed. Of course, I can't finish it because it goes through today, so I can't complete it for today until today is over. So because we never know when it's going to happen, but it's easy enough to change if you have to. So I get in there, get what I could get done, and get that done. It just saves a little bit of time on Monday. As you know, tomorrow I've got jury duty. Yay! Reading up on a little bit more. It's grand jury. I got called for grand jury. So that means I'm going to sit on the grand jury for 3 months. And we'll be convening when they have something they need us to do. So luckily that's it is what it is. Fortunately, in a small town, small community, small county, we don't have a lot of that. So everybody's good. Everybody serves. That's just what we do. The chicken was out last night. I found feathers this morning. So I also had some weasel tracks running around. So interestingly enough, it was eaten. So I don't know if it was actually a weasel. It might have been a mink got in there. But I found the feathers and found the carcass. So and 90% was gone. So whatever it was looking for food. You'll have that. Anytime that you raise chickens like I raise chickens here, you're going to lose some. It's just what happens. It may have been the one that I stepped on yesterday morning, because it just wasn't. Probably went over and hid and laid somewhere. So that would not surprise me a whole lot if it was that one, because I stepped on the one yesterday morning and then it ran off. I don't know where it went. Didn't come out. Didn't kind of made everybody else excited when I did it, but the rest of them were just kind of hanging out. So I don't know. Last evening we had a fire call. Seems like we've had a lot of fire calls so far this year. With a department that usually runs less than 50 calls a year. Last year we ran 63. This year, so far, we've run one a day. So we went to the funeral. We found out we had a problem with the ladder truck. Couldn't get it to go, so we had to call the repair company. They came. They were on 24 hours, 7 days a week call. They should for $500 an hour. But they came right away. Matter of fact, before we got done with the funeral, they were on their way up. So we got back from the funeral. Within 10 minutes, they were here and started working on it, and got that tended to. Found a relay problem somewhere. So it was nothing that we did that was, you know, it happens. You do something stupid and you go, well, why? We done, and you do it 3 or 4 times in a row, and you're going, why isn't it working? And it's just because we don't put it up and down enough. It's not like we do it daily or weekly. It is as needed. We put it up, and so lesson learned. We need to do that a little bit more. Keep tabs on things. Probably should do it once a week or at least. So we'll address that at the next meeting and see what everybody thinks. But we got back from that. A couple hours after we got back from that, we got a call out for a chimney fire. We were at the chimney fire for a few hours. Got it, and it wasn't drastic. It was just a chimney fire. I've seen worse. I've seen better. So, but we managed to get that tended to. A couple hours out, we were back in service. Everything was fine. No more calls then. In the meantime, between the call, the funeral, and the service, or the fire call, I got a notice from the people that we're doing the big boiler for. They had their deposit money, so I gathered that up. I've been spending some time this morning working on the order for that. Going between supply houses and trying to figure out who's cheaper and who's better. Basically trying to save a nickel because things go up so drastically. The difference in the price on some of the items was, pennies. Some of them were a couple dollars. So, and when you're spending $8,000, $9,000 for parts for a boiler, you want to save pennies. So, but this is not just a boiler. This is a complete heating system. So don't think it's that for a boiler and boiler alone. No. This is we're putting the baseboards in. We're putting all the loops in. We're putting the boiler in. This is a combination water heater. It's a Navion 240-130 is what it is. Which the 130 will do 199,000 BTU of residential hot water. So basically, it'll run 2 showers, a washing machine, and maybe 3 showers and a washing machine. I got the biggest one that I can because the house has 3 baths. So you want to size it accordingly. So if the house is full of people, it'll work. You don't want to run it, have them spend the kind of money that they are. I mean, the total estimate cost on it was over $15,000. So, which is a lot of money. It is probably double what the last complete system that I put in, which was the last complete system I put in was probably 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. I've did some change outs on some, but I generally don't get into complete systems, simply because, it's me. I got Lee's gonna help me. Curtis is probably gonna help me too. But the biggest thing is to get things up and running. And it is what it is. It's just the cost of the material is what the cost of material is. You start dealing with 1.25" copper pipe. That's $12 a foot. Fittings that are for that pipe that are $9 and $10 each. You don't want to screw those up. What I use is called the ProPress system. Let's see if I have one sitting right here. Maybe I do have one sitting in my jug here. Matter of fact, I got one over here. Hold on. This is a ProPress fitting. This is the 1.25 inch. As you can see, it has a spot on it that a tool goes over the top and crimps that down. There's no heat use, no solder, nothing to burn your house down. It makes the seal with a neoprene O-ring and the crimp itself. It's a 25-year fitting. Guaranteed 25 years, not to leak. So with that little fitting there, that's about, that's a Vega, so that one is about $6 for that coupler. So you don't want to screw those up because they get pricey quickly. The tool, just the tool alone to put that together was $1,500. So just so you got aware of what that is. And what it did for me was it actually saved me about $1,000 a year on my insurance because now I'm not using torches. As a matter of fact, I have my torch. I got one torch sitting there. I got another one in the car. I keep torches with me because you still need them. But I haven't soldered anything in probably a year, anyways. Because you have the crimp fittings, you've got shark bites, you've got, and I know there's a lot of controversy on shark bites. And some people will say, well, professionals don't use shark bites. Yes, we do. Because, and here's why. The shark bite fitting is quick, it's easy, you can go click, click, put it together and walk away from it. You can do things that you can't do with copper in that little bit of space. You don't have to solder inside the wall. Shark bites are now by all codes, they are legal to put inside a wall and encase them in. They're quick, they're easy. In our game, money is time and time is money. So that's why we use them. Anything that's quicker will end up ultimately saving time and money. So that's, you know, at current rates, if you could say to solder a piece of copper like that will take about 10 minutes. To crimp that fitting thereon takes about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. So, and this ain't gonna leak. So, that's what we do. We do that, and it's perfectly fine. People will say, well, you shouldn't use shark bites. I use shark bite fittings all the time. You know, there are guys on YouTube that consider themselves a excellent plumber. And they will say, well, never use that, always use solder. They're old school. You know, I ran into guys that didn't like copper. They liked the galvanized pipe. Look, with galvanized pipe, when you were putting a house together with galvanized pipe, you were spending 2 weeks running pipe. And then they brought out copper. Then you were reduced down to spending a week running pipe. Since the PEX tubing came out with the shark bite fittings and the crimp fittings and whatever fittings that you're using, we could plumb a house in pretty much 3 days. Run pipes in the house in 3 days. So time is money and money is time. So any way we can do it quicker, the one of the things that they're looking for now, or they're testing on, is copper in your water lines. So because copper deteriorates, it's only good for 50 years, it starts to fall apart. This is for heating, so it's a little different. But they're looking at that and heavy metals in your water. With PEX tubing, you don't have any heavy metals in your water lines. It's chemical free. It takes, even bad water won't eat through it. So, and you know, this doesn't take any freezing at all. When this freezes, this breaks. When a piece of PEX tubing freezes, it expands 3 times its own normal size before it will break. I have changed broken PEX. They do freeze, they do break, but 99% of the time it doesn't break. It just does its thing, expands, thaws out, everything. You may lose a fitting somewhere here and there, but for the majority of the piping, it'll be just fine. And for the accidental homeowner that forgets to, I don't know, turn the heat on, up here they forget that they need to have to drain the house when they go away for the winter. Whatever, it happens. PEX is the way to go. I'm a big opponent of PEX tubing. Then I would go to the press fit copper, far above any soldering. Faster, easier, cheap. Not necessarily cheaper. Faster, easier. The savings comes in the labor time. So that's the benefit. Checking on the weather. Right now, right by the lake, it's 8 degrees in Speculator. It's cold out there, so it's not not something we want to. Yay! It's all up to 8. But it is winter, so as I told you before, this has been a strange winter. We're coming into next weekend is the Martin Luther King weekend, I believe that's correct. Check on my calendar. No, that's not February. Here it is, January. That's correct. Today is the 8th, so the 16th is Martin Luther King Day. So that makes a 3-day weekend for next weekend. And we really need, skiers and people up here to do their stuff. Why does that say Plattsburgh? I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, we got the 3-day weekend coming up there, and then we got President's Week after that. So we want to keep. Then on the 28th, we've got the snowmobile races on the lake. So we want at least the lake to freeze up, because there's going to be a lot of people in town to be on the lake. Today the high is going to be 34, so it's going to warm up pretty good. Tonight's going to be 21. Tomorrow's going to be 32. So tomorrow's just a wasted day, in my opinion. The whole day is going to be just wasted for jury duty. I just hate it. It's my civic duty, so I'll do it. But anyways, so let's take you outside. we'll look and see its stuff. Let me put my nice toasty warm hat on that Joe doesn't have yet. It's getting closer, Joe. I'm sure she's already started it. She probably is, trying to figure out how to put pins and needles inside of it. She wouldn't do that. Maybe to me, but anyways. I had frost on the inside of my car this morning, so I left my car run so some of that could dry off. Gonna roll the window down, I think, to see if some of that moisture will get out of there. You can see by the river, things are still flowing. Kind of it's still kind of nice, even though it's cold. It's still nice out. That's the thing. Roosters out here crowing away. You see, I have little pin feathers all around, and I will bet you that is the chicken that I stepped on yesterday morning. Really? We are in the area where there are critters out, and believe it or not, critters do eat. So, and sometimes they eat chicken. So these chickens, as I said earlier, some of them are over 3 years old. So if we lose a few of them, that's really not a big loss. But we don't want them to be to be lost that way. Get down here, we take a look at the downstream. We're still running really well, so I'm really happy with that. Water's still flowing down from across the road. The spring is still running. This pin right there, that's one of my portable coops. That's one of my chicken tractors. Or as my wife called it, it was the feeding pen for the weasel. Because they got in there and oh boy. They got underneath it, got inside of it. Chickens couldn't get out. They killed everything in it. So I haven't used it in a couple of years. So, but I want to keep it around. I'll probably raise it up, put a border around it, use it as a coop at some point. But anyways, so that's about all that I've got for today. I don't want to make these too long. Still got my cold, getting better. I feel better every day. This morning I was a little dry in the house, so I turned a pan of water on the stove and got some moisture in it, and that helps quite a bit. So it's just that time of year. We have that. I'm thinking of my cousin Heather. I hope you're starting to feel better. Hope you can breathe. The breathing's the worst part. When you're sick, you can't do it. It makes everything compounded. So I understand what you're going through, and just start feeling better. But anyways, so I'm gonna cut it out here. Hopefully that you guys are warm. You're staying dry. It's gonna be a sunny day where you're at. I wish we could all be in Key West where the sun is shining all the time, but we can't. We've got to do our thing up here. But anyhow, take care of yourselves. Take care of the people around you, and have a great day.